Good morning. Let's take a look at this problem here. You're borrowing 100,000 as a baseline, 7%, 30 years. If it was 200,000, you would double this amount. Let's take a look here. We have it set up. Let me make sure of all my numbers are correct. Make sure you understand that this is 12 times the number of years. In this case, it's 30 years, so that's going to be 360. Now let's go ahead and work this. We're going to start from the inside out. So clear this out, take 0.07 divided by 12. When I do that, I get that number, plus 1, press equals, and then raise it to the 360th power. I get 8.1164 for this piece right here. Make sure you get that. We're going to clear the calculator out again, 0.07 divided by 12, press equals, times 100,000. Make sure you got that right. Press equals. And when I do that, I get that number right there. We're going to multiply times 8.1164. When I do that, the top number is going to be 4734.566. And then on the bottom, we're going to clear this out. 0.07 divided by 12, press equals, plus 1, press equals, raise it to the 360th power. I get that, and then minus 1, I get that. I get 7.1164. Clear my calculator. 4734.566 divided by 7.1164. When I do that, I get a monthly payment of $665.30, and that's what you're going to pay a month for 30 years. Okay, any questions on how to do that problem? Okay, let's talk about today's work. On a new sheet of paper, we're going on to 7.6. We may have missed 7.5. If we did, we'll come back to it. But for right now, let's talk about this since I have the notes. Copy this down. I'll make it a little bigger. Not that big. Okay, so what is a condo? A condo is a form of home ownership. It's deeded. The problem with a condo is you have to pay a HOA fee every month, and that covers certain things like maybe your water, maybe your sewer, grass cutting, maintaining the property, the workout room, the swimming pool, etc. But the problem is it's added on to your monthly payment. So if your monthly payment is $536 a month, which is fine, but the HOA is $400 a month, you're going to be paying $936 every month. So keep that in mind and always be aware of that HOA. What is a reasonable HOA? I wouldn't pay more than $200, or I would try to buy a house or something. Okay? Board of directors. Those are people that are elected and they handle the business matter, things that need to be done. And again, HOA is a maintenance fee. A co-op, the corporation, it's a corporation that owns the whole apartment complex. So when you buy into a co-op, you don't own the apartment, but you own a share, okay? A share of the entire complex. So I would stay away from a co-op. All right, let's keep moving. Let's take a look at this problem here. So open up a book, page 438. Maintenance fee is $912, 15% for taxes, the yearly amount. Okay, so we're going to assume this is, this has to be a yearly amount. Okay? So we're going to go ahead, and they want to know the yearly amount. So we're going to say 15%, 0.15 times 912. We're going to change that to a decimal, okay? So we're going to take 0.15 times 912. Now you can check this one in the book, but I think this is a yearly amount, at least I hope it is. And so it comes to 136.80 every month. Okay, that's, well, actually that is a monthly amount, but they want to know the yearly amount. Okay, well, I guess that was 112. if that was in fact 112. So now that they're saying find the yearly amount, well, 136, let me think about this. Okay, so let's say this is not yearly. Let's back up. So we're going to take 15% and we get this. So we're going to multiply that by 12 simply because they say what is the yearly amount. So times 12, and again, you can verify it. So you're going to be paying about $1,600 in maintenance fees for that property. All right, let's go to the next one. A co-op, example 2, owns 50,000 shares. Janet, she owns in that co-op, and she has 550 shares. What percentage? Remember this formula. It's part divided by total. So the part is 550, and the total is 50,000. So we're going to divide these on your calculator. So clear this out. Take 5,500 divided by 50,000. When I do that, I get 0.011, and if you change that to a decimal, you get 1.1%. So she owns 1.1% of the shares of the co-op. Okay, here's your assignment for today. Copy that down. I want you to read 7.6. Look at the examples, because I'm not sure I went over all of them, and then work 1 through 10. Make sure you paraphrase the question and show some work. We're going to turn our attention now to my last period of the day. And to do that, we're going to work this problem right here. Okay, so we're going to do long division. Well, to do long division, you're going to switch this up. So you're going to say k minus 1, and then you're going to divide it into -5. And actually, no, we want to put this one first because it's k to the third power. So scratch that out. And we're going to say k to the third power plus or minus 5k squared plus 8k plus 4. Okay, now we're on the right track. So it's going to be k times what is going to be that? It's got to be k squared. So put k squared here. You're going to get k times that is going to be k to the third power. This times this is going to be negative k squared. When you subtract, this changes like that. So that's going to become a negative 4k squared. Bring down the next number, 8k plus 8k. So here you're going to do k times negative 4k. And this one right here, we're going to put negative 4k. When we do that, we're going to get negative 4k squared. And then that's going to be a plus 4k. When you subtract, this changes, so you're going to end up with 4k when you subtract. You're going to bring down your next number, which is a 4, and then you're going to say k times a plus 4, and that's going to give me 4k and minus 4 here. And when you subtract, this is going to change. So it's going to be a negative and a positive, so you get a remainder of 8. So you're going to say plus 8 over k minus 1. And that is long division. Today we're going to turn our attention to synthetic division. So what I want you to do is copy down this problem right here. We're going to divide it synthetically. All right, to divide it synthetically, you're going to use the opposite of this. Okay, so it's going to be negative 3. All right, and so what we're going to do now is write only the coefficients. Now this one's missing the x to the third. So the coefficient here is a 1. We need a 0 for the x to the third, a negative 10, a negative 2, and a 4. Okay, so to divide synthetically, you notice that it's written a little differently. It's the opposite of this because you set it equal to 0. So x plus 3 equals 0, and then you move that over and you get x equals a negative 3. So basically we're plugging in negative 3 into this equation and working it out. So you bring down the first number, which is a 1, and then you multiply. That's the pattern. So that's going to give you a negative 3 right here. Okay? You bring it down. There's no subtraction here. So this times this is going to be a positive 9. That's going to give you a negative 1. This times this is going to give you a positive 3. That's going to give you a 1. And then this times this is going to be a negative 3 when you multiply these two. And you're going to end up with a remainder of 1. So you count backwards, 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be x to the third minus 3x squared minus x plus 1 plus your remainder, which is 1 over your divisor, which was x plus 3. And there it is. And that is synthetic division. Okay, so take a look at that for a moment. Ask me any questions that you need to ask me on that one. And we're going to take a look at one of these problems in just a second. Let me see right here. Okay, so that problem is on 267. You can check it out, 267. And what I want you to do is try this one. Try to do this one with synthetic division. The same exact way. Okay, so notice that it does decrease in a good order. So 3, 2, 1, 0. The opposite of this is what you want to use when you do synthetic. So you're basically plugging in a negative 2 into this equation. So we're going to do negative 2, which is the opposite. We're going to write it like this, and we're going to put the coefficient. So it's going to be 5, 8, negative 1, and 6. Bring down your first number. That gives me a negative 10. There's no subtraction here. You just combine them. So you get a negative 2. That times that, it's going to give me a 4. That's going to give me a 3. That gives me a negative 6. This one gives me a 0. Okay, so 0, 1, 2. So it's going to be 5x squared minus 2x plus 3. And then the remainder is 0. So that means when you plug in negative 2 into this equation, all right, you get 0 for your y. So however this graph looks, and it's a 4th degree, okay, and it's positive. So we know it's a U shape. So it's going to zero out at negative 2 and 0. If you use your graphing calculator, you'll see what I'm talking about. In fact, get your graphing calculator out, plug this in, this equation right here, and graph it. I want you to do that right now, and you'll see that this parabola hits right there, and that's called a 0. Today you're working these problems here. I'll see you in class. Have a good morning.